Prince Harry's earth-shattering confession has unraveled the mystery of Princess Diana's tragic loss, shaking the world. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for exclusive updates on this heart-stopping revelation. For years, Prince Harry could not accept his mother's passing, repeating to himself that she would never leave them, his heart refusing to let her go. Part of him believed she could never do this to her family. Now, in a soul-crushing admission, Harry has confirmed what many suspected, exposing a truth that could forever alter the monarchy's image. What is this shocking revelation, and how will the royal family respond? Diana, cherished for her warm, caring spirit, was not just a royal. She was a beacon of kindness, dedicating her life to uplifting the homeless, sick, lonely, elderly, and troubled youth, offering smiles, hugs, and kind words, not because she had to, but because she genuinely cared. From 1989 to 1996, she worked tirelessly with charities, supporting homeless youth addiction recovery and elderly comfort. Visiting shelters, hospitals, and nursing homes, her gentle presence bringing hope to those in their darkest moments. As president of Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children, Diana committed herself to young patients and their families, not just visiting for appearances, but sitting beside children, holding their hands and talking about their dreams and fears, giving them strength. Her love for the arts shone through her roles with the Natural History Museum, Royal Academy of Music, and Royal Academy of Dramatic Art from 1984 to 1996, where she encouraged young artists and performers, helping them pursue their dreams with confidence. Her generosity extended beyond the United Kingdom. In 1988, she became a patron of the British Red Cross, supporting its work in Australia and Canada. She personally visited Royal Brompton Hospital, comforting seriously ill patients, holding their hands, and staying by their beds during tough times. Her compassion drove her to join Barnardo's Aiding Youth and the Chester Childbirth Appeal from 1984, raising over £1 million for new mothers and babies through her heartfelt efforts. What made Diana extraordinary was not the number of charities, but her ability to make every person feel seen, valued, and loved. Harry's confession could change how the monarchy is viewed, but first, her early years. Diana Frances Spencer was born on July 1, 1961, at Park House, on the Queen's Sandringham estate in Norfolk, the fourth child of John Spencer, Viscount Althorp, and Frances. Surrounded by royal traditions, her family had deep ties to the monarchy, with both grandmothers serving as ladies-in-waiting to the Queen Mother, making the Spencer royal bond special. But her arrival was not the joyful moment it should have been. Her parents, hoping for a boy to carry the family name, took a week to name her Diana Frances, honoring her mother and a distant relative. Growing up near the royal family, Diana played with Princes Andrew and Edward, her father's role as equerry to the king, and later the Queen, giving her a close view of royal life. Yet her early years were filled with sadness. The loss of a baby boy in 1960 left her family heartbroken. Though her birth brought some light, the pain never fully faded. Her brother Charles's birth 3 years later brought brief joy, but unhappiness lingered. As a child, Diana watched her parents' marriage fall apart, their arguments filling the house. Their divorce left a deep mark on her young heart. The custody battle was tough, with her grandmother siding with her father, who gained custody, separating Diana from her mother. She cried every Sunday after visits, counting days, until they reunited, a sadness that stayed with her. In 1976, her father married Reine, Countess of Dartmouth, but instead of peace, Reine made life harder. Diana and her siblings nicknamed her Acid Reine for her cruel remarks about their mother, deepening family tension. In 1978, Diana sensed something terrible would happen to her father. The next day, he suffered a brain hemorrhage and was rushed to hospital. Reine kept Diana and her siblings from his bedside, leaving her heartbroken and angry. Despite these sorrows, Diana held on to small moments of happiness. School was challenging her family's troubles, making it hard to focus. No matter how hard she tried, the pain followed her into the classroom. She failed her O-level exams, feeling she had let herself down. At 16, she left school fueled by a desire to find her own path, though her strict parents would not let her live alone until 18. In 1978, she worked as a nanny in Hampshire, a humble job that taught her responsibility and gave her a taste of life outside her family's world. She attended a finishing school in Switzerland for one term, but found it was not for her. Returning to London, she moved into an apartment with friends, took a cooking course, and worked simple jobs. Teaching dance to children was her favorite, her love for music and movement bringing joy to her and the kids. A skiing accident forced her to rest, but every challenge made her stronger, kinder, and more understanding of others' struggles. Then she met Charles. Visiting Althorpe, Diana noticed her sister Sarah spending time with Prince Charles' older brother to her childhood friends, Andrew and Edward. At 16, she found Charles quiet and distant, respecting Sarah's clear admiration for him. At 19, during a weekend at a friend's country home, Charles opened up about his loneliness at his great-uncle's funeral, softening their bond. Soon, Diana noticed Charles's interest shift from Sarah to her. He invited her sailing and to Balmoral, the royal family's private estate in Scotland. Flattered but nervous, she felt overwhelmed by the world of castles and royal traditions, daunting for a shy country girl. Camilla Parker Bowles's constant presence raised doubts, and Diana sensed a deeper connection between her and Charles. When Charles confessed his love and proposed, Diana hesitated. Their short, awkward courtship and the prospect of becoming queen frightened her. Was it true love or royal expectations? Despite her doubts, she said yes. When Diana and Charles announced their engagement, the world erupted in celebration, thrilled to see a kind young woman become a princess. But behind the cheers, Diana struggled. Arriving at Buckingham Palace, she expected warmth, but met a cold, uncertain reception, feeling like an outsider. She was told she could not continue her nursery assistant job, one of her few sources of joy, and missed her simple life with roommates. At a charity ball, she met Princess Grace of Monaco, who had married into royalty. Overwhelmed by royal rules and endless events, Diana shared her fears. Grace's gentle words carried a quiet warning about the challenges of royal life. The hardest moment came when Diana overheard Charles confess his love for Camilla and found a bracelet he made for her engraved with their pet names Gladys and Fred. Holding it, Diana felt her world collapse. She considered calling off the engagement, but after turning to her siblings for comfort, was told it was too late. They urged her to adapt to royal life. Feeling trapped, she agreed. On February 24th, 1981, the engagement was announced, Diana choosing a stunning sapphire ring. She gave up her job, moved to Clarence House, then Buckingham Palace, poised to make history as the first Englishwoman in over 300 years to marry a future king. On July 29, 1981, 20-year-old Diana walked down St. Paul's Cathedral aisle before 500 guests and millions watching on television, her breathtaking dress and veil trailing behind. Nervous, she sensed Camilla watching from the pews, but pushed forward, driven by love for Charles. The ceremony seemed perfect, but small flaws hinted at trouble. Diana stumbled over Charles's name. Charles erred in his vows, and they omitted the traditional vow for the bride to obey, foreshadowing challenges. Diana dreamed of a fairy tale marriage filled with love and laughter, but the honeymoon was cold. Charles, buried in books or hobbies, left her alone with her thoughts. Surrounded by royal staff, they had few tender moments, and Diana's heart grew heavier. As time passed, her sadness deepened, and she battled an eating disorder noticed by few who understood her pain. Camilla's closeness to Charles fueled her heartache, and Charles's cold attitude made it worse, widening the distance between them. In October 1981, learning she was pregnant brought a spark of hope, but the pregnancy was tough, with fragile health and emotional ups and downs. During a heated argument with Charles, Diana fell down the stairs in distress, hoping to reach him. Instead, he rode away, leaving her hurt and alone. Queen Elizabeth was deeply upset, but Charles showed little concern, breaking Diana's heart further. She reached out for help, but few heard her cries. In June 1982, Prince William's birth brought joy, but postpartum depression soon overwhelmed her, making her feel like a stranger among the royals. 2 years later, pregnant again, she and Charles grew briefly closer. At a medical appointment, she learned they were having a boy, but kept it secret, knowing Charles hoped for a girl. The final weeks before the birth were filled with gentle happiness, which Diana clung to. When Prince Harry was born, she hoped it would unite them, but it pushed Charles further away. Even the Queen's scolding did not change him, leaving Diana to face her pain alone. As time passed, their marriage unraveled. By 1986, after 5 years, their differences, age gap, clashing personalities, separate hobbies made them a poor match. Diana longed for love and understanding. Charles was distant, focused on his own world. During this lonely time, Diana found comfort with James Hewitt, a kind man who taught writing to the royal family. Charles quietly reconnected with Camilla Parker Bowles, a love from before his marriage. Their hearts drifted apart, each seeking happiness elsewhere. Whispers of Diana's friendship with Hewitt spread, with some cruelly suggesting Harry resembled him, though Harry was born long before Diana met Hewitt. Rumors needed no truth to hurt. By 1987, public photos showed their cold stares and forced smiles, earning them the nickname the Glums. Palace dinners were silent, the love that once sparkled gone. In 1989, at a birthday party for Camilla's sister Diana, confronted Camilla boldly, stating she knew about the affair, a moment kept secret until later revealed. In 1992, Andrew Morton's book, Diana, Her True Story, rocked the royal family, detailing her struggles and loneliness, based on secret tapes she recorded to share her truth. At first, people thought friends and family helped write it, but after her passing, her direct role was confirmed. Worried about the scandals, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip tried to save the marriage, arranging quiet meetings. Philip wrote heartfelt letters asking Diana to see Charles's perspective, which she found hard but appreciated. Some said her bond with Philip was tense. Others believed no lasting bad blood remained. In December 1992, Prime Minister John Major announced to the House of Commons that Charles and Diana had agreed to separate a peaceful end to a marriage that began with hope. They remained married on paper until their divorce in 1996. After the separation, Diana began a new chapter filled with freedom, loneliness, and reflection. No longer an official royal, she stayed at Kensington Palace, her safe haven since early marriage, where she could relax away from public eyes. She was allowed to use rooms at St. James's Palace and moved her office to Kensington Palace, giving her freedom to focus on charity work, always close to her heart. From September 1996, she paid her own bills and expenses, but could wear her marriage jewelry and travel with her sons on royal planes when needed. Many thought she might return to Althorpe, her childhood estate, but this was untrue. The Garden House cottage was promised to a staff member. Her brother, Lord Spencer, ensured she had safe, comfortable options with police advice on security. Diana built a life rich with friendships and new experiences, staying close to Elton John, Liza Minnelli, George Michael, Michael Jackson, and designer Gianni Versace. These bonds brought laughter and joy away from constant cameras and headlines. She was heartbroken when Versace passed away in 1997, attending his funeral to say goodbye. In 1995, her heart opened again when she met Hasnat Khan, a shy, gentle heart surgeon her friends called her true love. They kept their nearly 2-year romance secret to protect his privacy, with Diana weaving small stories to dodge the press. Accounts differ on how it ended. Some say Hasnat ended it, others say Diana. At a later inquest, Hasnat said Diana chose to let go in summer 1997. She briefly dated Dodi Fayed, but it did not last. On August 31st, 1997, the world's heart broke. Diana passed away in a tragic car crash in Paris's Pont de l'Alma tunnel, fleeing photographers. With her were Dodi Fayed and driver Henry Paul, both of whom also lost their lives. Only Trevor Rees-Jones, a bodyguard for Dodi's family, survived badly injured, able to share little of that night. On September 5th, Queen Elizabeth delivered a rare emotional speech honoring Diana's joy, kindness, and profound impact. On September 6th, Diana's funeral at Westminster Abbey became one of history's most watched moments. Over 32 million in the United Kingdom tuned in, 50 million from the United States, and 2.5 billion worldwide united to bid farewell to the people's princess. The funeral overflowed with tears, memories, and love. The most heartbreaking sight was young Prince William and Harry walking behind their mother's coffin, joined by Charles Prince Philip and Lord Spencer. The image of two grieving boys saying goodbye to their beloved mother touched the world. At 12, Harry was overwhelmed, numb, and confused by his mother's loss. To him, Diana was not just a princess, but a loving mother who took him to soccer games, snuck him out for burgers, and made every moment special. Her sudden absence felt unreal, and the world's grief, millions mourning someone they never met, seemed louder than his own. Crowds gathered, flowers blanketed streets, and tears fell, but Harry was not ready to cry. He first wept at her burial on a quiet island at Althorpe, then buried his emotions for years. For Harry and William, life after Diana meant keeping strong faces under constant scrutiny, cameras tracking their every move. Deep down, both struggled. Harry later confessed that bottling up his feelings for so long deeply affected his life, relationships, and work. Even years later, their mother's loss remained a painful, quiet shadow in their hearts, a wound they would carry forever. The video, now available for you to watch, delves deeper into this shattering mystery, offering exclusive insights into Harry's confession and Diana's enduring legacy. It features never-before-seen interviews with Diana's closest aides, who share private conversations from her final months, revealing her fears about media pressure and her hopes for her son's future. Rare footage shows Diana at charity events, her warmth radiating as she comforts children and families, alongside personal letters to friends that expose tensions within the royal family over her public role. Experts, including historians and former royal staff, analyze how Harry's revelation that he long believed his mother could not have left them might point to unresolved questions about her passing, stirring debate about the monarchy's handling of her legacy. The video includes emotional clips of Harry and William reflecting on their mother's impact, with Harry discussing how her loss shaped his mission to honor her truth. This compelling footage, paired with archival images of Diana's humanitarian work, challenges viewers to question what secrets remain hidden and how the royal family will respond to this new chapter. Click now to uncover the full story and join the global conversation about Diana's truth. What do you think? How will Harry's admission reshape how Diana is remembered? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this story moves you, type 9 to stand for truth. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked into this unfolding saga. Comment 9 if Diana's legacy inspires you, and share your thoughts below to keep her story alive.